it's powerful enough, you know what I'm saying? Tires smoking? Is that focused well?
On you?
Yeah.
It's on you, yeah.
It looks like it's like pointing way down, but okay.
You want to look at it?
No, it's good. So today we're going to go through the process of flashing our tune via PowerVision to your machine. There's been some confusion with getting the PV info emailed to us. So the real reason why we do this is because depending on what year, machine, and model you have, there's many different ECU definitions. So instead of spending 30 minutes for every PowerVision we send out, we can accurately get the correct definition and send you the tune for your machine. So essentially, the 17s and 18s, their buds connector is normally inside the glove box. On this 2019 we have, it's actually in the fuse box area. So you're gonna unplug the buds, put the key in it, it's powered up, plug the PowerVision in, then hit select tune. So there's one tune available for this machine. This is a 2019 XRC 120 horsepower. So essentially, once you click this, it's going to pair with the vehicle. So this is what we need to do. We need to pair with the vehicle. And then you do not need to flash it if you're going to run our tune. You just need to do the first process of pairing. So now you can back out, and this PowerVision is now paired. So you can disconnect the PowerVision and then run over to your laptop, and we'll continue with the next step. Okay, so now we're gonna do the next process, which is sending me your PV info so I can send you the correct file, whether it's 160, 170, 180, 200, etc. So you got your supplied cables and the DynoJet. We just use the mini USB, plug it into the PowerVision, and then plug this into your computer. PowerVision should come up, should immediately bring up all your tune files. So the DynoJets come loaded with every tune file they have. So it may look like a ton because there is a ton. But all I care about is this PV info right here. It's a text file, and it's going to include your PowerVision's serial number, and then it is going to include the ECU's tune compatibility file, which is the definition file. That's the main thing I need to see. So if you want to check before you email it to me, you can make sure that you have a file here, and then this should almost always come up unless there's a problem. So X out of that, X out of that, open up your email, send it to john@whalentune.com. Include, say I want a WS 160. If you want to include your invoice number so I know for sure that who you are. And then just say, hey, you don't really have to go crazy with that. Attach this file. PV info. And then send it to me. Then you should expect, depending on what time it is, but I get these emails quite often, and I'll pretty much immediately get one back to you. If it's really late or on the weekend, in the morning, I'll get one sent back to you. So that is the next process. Essentially, now you're going to get I get this email. I'm going to reply to you with a tune file. The tune file that you get, you will download and drag into your PowerVision when you get it opened up. So I'm going to send you a file, say WS160. You'll download it, drag it into back into your Power Vision, then you could hook it back up to your machine. All right, now the next step is actually flashing the machine. So this has the potential to not go right, but it's important to go in a step process. So your machine is already married. It's not going to ask you to flash it again once you've dragged our tune into your machine. So hit the rectangle button, flash tune. So now you should see we're going to release a 120 horsepower non-intercooled tune. So it'll say something like WS120 improved. Click on that. So this machine's been on for a minute, so I would recommend not doing it this way. So unplug the key, let the machine shut down, which takes maybe 10 seconds. Put the key back in, press the start button. Flash tune. Make sure that it just has your tunes on it. When I first clicked that button, it had all of them. I don't think it was linked up with the ECU yet. So that could cause a problem. So make sure that it's the tune you want. Flash it. Now it's going to go through its process to flash. So after what seems like forever, to verify flash, turn key off, then turn on, which it's just safer to unplug the key, let the machine power all the way off, which takes that 10 to 15 seconds to do. So it's powered off. So you cannot see gauges when it's not flashed. It must first be flashed and not on the STK file. If it's on a DJT file, it will display values. So key on, bring up the DynoJet. Let's see here, device tools, configure gauges. You just have it on one screen. We'll do channel 1. Let's do RPM. Let's do it straight up. Channel 2. So this will give you an absolute pressure, but there's boost pressure. That's going to be a little more. There it is. That's relative. So that'll show positive and negative. You can do it in PSI. Channel 3, you get your coolant temp. Engine coolant temp in Fahrenheit, precision. And then channel 4, I say battery voltage is honestly pretty important on these machines. At least get an idea of what it's doing. You can actually lose power if voltage drops below 12.6 at any time. So it's a good idea to take a look at that every once in a while, but you can configure those in any way. And you have multiple screens to go through. So now it's going to display the values that you want to see, and then you can float through different screens if you want multiple screen setups, which we probably will once we add a wideband and things like that. So you can have a cruise screen and then more of like a performance-based screen and go from there. But yeah, I mean, that pretty much concludes everything. Data logging is still the same way as before. The buttons just changed. So it will data log every value that's in there. So on our bigger injector setups, we include a wideband with them, and then every tune gets a custom modification to make sure that the injector is identical to what we would expect it to be, so that you can make the most power and be the most reliable setup possible. So essentially, you're going to hit this button. Oops, hit this button. It's going to data log, and then you're going to hit the same button to end it. And you need to make sure that you do end it. You want to make sure that the screen is filled up with data that makes sense, and when you press the button, it saves it. If you forget to press the button to save it at the end, to end the data log and turn the machine off, all that data will be lost. It won't have anything in it. So just make sure that you start it and end it, and those will come up as like a log 0-1 file. And if you're going to send them to me, you email them to me the same way. You'll just drag them off the PowerVision, attach them to the email, send it, and then I'll send you a revision back. So easy enough, right?